Okay then, so welcome to the Mercedes AMG GT63s 4-door edition 1. It's a long name, but it's a fast car, so the time that you've taken to say the name, you'll be off on your journey. Immediately stepping out of the Bentley, if you haven't watched that video already, actually, I'm sort of following on from that, so if you haven't watched it, go back and watch the Bentley GT video. Immediately after stepping out of that, this feels so much more like racy. Even just cruising along in comfort mode now on a really smooth bit of road, it feels, you feel the bumps, it feels like hunkered down, it feels a lot more sporty than the Bentley did. It feels like it wants to be driven like properly, which we might go and do now. But in terms of comfort and refinement, the Bentley wins it hands down. This is very, very nice inside. It's a technology fest. Like the options on the screens is crazy. It is very nice in here. I love the seats. The seats are incredible, so comfortable. Even though they look uncomfortable, they are very comfortable seats. They've pretty much, I don't really want to do a direct comparison between these two cars. I want to do them in their own right, but it's hard to really. I just spat on my leg then. It's hard to I'll cut that out. So yeah, it's hard to do a comparison. It's hard to not compare the two back to back when you're driving them back to back. But this feels quicker, even though it's not, because you're bouncing around a bit more. It feels like an AMG. It feels a little bit wayward, a little bit angry, and it wants you to properly grab it by the scruff of the neck and go for a proper rag around, even when it's in comfort mode. But I'll switch into the other modes in a minute and you'll see what I mean once we're off this bit of dual carriageway. But so far, it's an angry car.
Protect your life right now, protect your life. Protect your life right now, protect your life. Protect your life right now, protect your life. Now look, the apple don't fall far from trees, right? I'm in the land of milk and honey with the bees, like. And if I'm ripping it, what I'm sowing with my seeds, like. Now check it out.
Listen to that noise. This is when the AMG turns into an AMG. It's a proper little animal. Well, it's not very little actually, it's quite a big animal, but this is a car that it doesn't waft you around in comfort. It makes you make stupid, serious faces as you're blasting around country lanes, and it loves it. That's what this car is for. It's for putting your foot down, making that noise, feeling it squirm around underneath you. I think I was being like, when I first got in this and I was like, oh, this is a bit uncomfortable. It's a different car. Like, now you think about it, it's a 4-door version of an AMG GTR. So it's a racing car. It's a sports car that happens to seat 4 people, and the rear seats are actually really cool. So it's not supposed to be a luxury wafter. It's supposed to be a race car. And once you get that into your head, you're like, oh my god, this is a serious car. It's almost a bit too serious. But the good thing about this being an AMG, obviously, I mean, we're shooting this in late October. The roads are cold, the tyres are cold, there's leaves on the road is slightly damp. If you had a normal AMG with, what is it, 650-ish horsepower, around 900 newton meters of torque, if you had a normal AMG with that much power, you would just be going sideways your entire life. But this has got 4-wheel drive, and it works really, really well. It still feels like an AMG. It still feels like it's going to kick the back end out any minute. It keeps you on your toes, but it keeps you safe. And that's the difference. You're probably not going to end up in a hedge driving this fast. That four-wheel drive system is really good. The Mercedes 4MATIC system, it just works so well. Iwan Thomas!
I sent you a message.
Did ya? I was driving about
I
this.
said if you're in, I was going to come and do a little spoof video of you going, what we've got here is a new AMG GT63.
Right, so as I was saying, these two cars, so the AMG GT63s, blah blah blah, and the Continental GT, basically did the same thing. They're both very fast, very powerful, big GT cars, but they do them very, very differently. The Mercedes is skittish and sharp and bouncy and like edgy, and I don't know how to describe it. It feels like a proper like sports car. It wouldn't feel out of place on a track at all. You can imagine it doing huge skids all over the place. The Bentley is totally different. It wafts along in almost silence, and it's just such a comfortable place to be. Which one would I buy? They're about the same money. Well, I would buy the Bentley. The big B is where I would put my money. If you haven't seen this video, go and check it out. But yeah, that's it for now. That's another good GT car, by the way. That's just turned up, as you do. Which would you have? That or that? Let us know in the comments. Goodbye.